الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له اشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له اشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله يا الذين امنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتون الا وانتم مسلمون ان خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الحديث حج محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Brothers and sisters, we praise Allah the Almighty, we believe in Him, we trust in Him, we bear witness that nothing deserves to be worshipped except Allah. We bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Allah's messenger and His slave. I pray to Allah the Almighty to bless me today to articulate on my tongue what's in my heart. Today I'm going to do two things. I'm going to give you opinion, and when I give you opinion, you don't have to accept it. When I give you Quran and Sunnah, you have to accept it. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, he went to Medina, and when he went to Medina, he saw the people pollinating date palms. He said, what are you doing? He said, when we do this, we get more dates. He said, I think it's better you don't do it. So they stopped doing it. As a result, the dates were diminished. They came to the Prophet, ﷺ, and said, see? And the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said something so profound, I think every leader in the world ought to hear what he said. He said, إِذَا أَمَرْتُكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنْ دِينِكُمْ فَخُذُوا بِهِ. Whenever I tell you something of your religion, you take it. Whatever I say of religion, you take it. وَإِذَا أَمَرْتُكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنْ رَأْيِي فَإِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ. And when I tell you something of my opinion, I'm only a human being. That's how the Prophet was, alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah tells us in Quran, Ati Allah wa Ati Rasul. Obey Allah and obey the messenger. I ain't got no argument. Allah said it, the Prophet said it, khalas. Ain't no argument. Anyone else? You know, when you go to court, the judge gives you judgment, except the Supreme Court. If you notice Supreme Court, it's not called judgment, it's called opinion. And you have 9 judges, and some of them, they disagree. And someone has to write for the majority opinion. 5 people said this is the majority. It don't mean the others are wrong, it means opinion. And the other 4, someone has to write the opinion for the minority. So what I'm going to give you today, inshallah, is some direct from Quran and Sunnah. You take it. I give you my opinion. Okay, Imam Siraj, that's your opinion. Alhamdulillah. First, I want to begin with an opinion. Let me tell you about something about myself in case you didn't know. Most of you know. I was a minister in the Nation of Islam. I became a member at the age of 18 years old, and I stayed until 1975 when Imam Muhammad Hafidullah, when he became the leader of the Nation of Islam. In those years in the Nation of Islam, me personally, I never made salah. I prayed. But the Prophet ﷺ said, Salu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Pray as you see me pray. So if you didn't make ruku, you didn't make sajda, you didn't make salah, you prayed. You prayed, yes. I don't argue that, you prayed. In those 6 years in the Nation of Islam, I never fasted one day in Ramadan. We fasted in December. We fasted, but we didn't. Shahru Ramadan, Allah orders us in Quran to fast. Shahru Ramadan, fast in the month of Ramadan. We didn't. Having said that, all the years in the Nation of Islam, for me, Malcolm was in the Nation of Islam for 12 years. From the moment he came from prison until 1964. All of those years in the Nation of Islam, it is my opinion that Allah bless the Nation of Islam. And I'm going to tell you why. If you look at, I was a student at New York University, math major. And by the way, when I joined the Nation of Islam, when the brothers found out that I was a math major, they said, oh, they put it Jeffrey. Was my name Jeffrey? Jeffrey told me. He said, you gonna be a good Muslim. I said, why? He said, because Islam is mathematics. Mathematics is Islam. So I said, oh, okay, good. But all those years, and I sold Muhammad Speaks newspapers, like most brothers sold Muhammad Speaks newspaper, but I sold 1,000 a week. I went to the projects by myself, knocking on doors, selling a 25-cent Muhammad newspaper. And I quit my job to sell Muhammad Speaks newspapers 100% of the time. Having said that, I think that the Nation of Islam was blessed by Allah. Let me tell you why. There was a young girl that I met. She's from the Middle East, maybe Syria, maybe Palestine. And she's about 14, 15 years old. Wherever I went to Southern California, she would be there, listening to my lectures many, many years ago. I saw a couple years ago in Malaysia, she got married, had many children. But she said to me one day, she said, Imam Siraj, I was born a Muslim. And I always knew, always felt that I would go to Jannah. Until one day, I heard someone give a speech. And after listening to that speech, she said, I better get myself together. If I don't, I'm going straight to hell. And that's going to be my talk today. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا الْأَحْمَلُ بِالْخَوَاتِيمِ. Your deeds shall be judged by your last deeds. Don't you tell me how you were born. Tell me how you died. لَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Don't die. Don't die except as a Muslim. كُلُّ مَوْلُودٌ يُولَدُ عَلَى الْفِطْرَةِ. Everybody by nature is born a Muslim. And their parents make them a Christian, a Jew. I was a Christian. My mother and father, everybody, they were Christians. So I went to a Baptist church until 1968. I joined the Nation of Islam. Don't tell me how you born. Tell me how you died. The essence of my talk is a statement that the Prophet made, alayhi salatu wasalam. It is both scary. This is the scariest hadith, in my opinion. It's both scary on one hand, and on the other hand, it's most hopeful. He said, إن أحدكم سيعلم بعمل أهل الجنة حتى ما يكون بينه وبينها إلى ذراع يسبق عليه الكتاب فيعلم بعمل أهل النار فيدخلها. One of you, some of you, do the deeds of the people of Jannah. What are the deeds of the people of Jannah? Khamsa salawat, 5 prayers a day. Siyam, Shahr Ramadan, Zakat, Sadaqah. These are all deeds of the people of Jannah. He said, one of you do the deeds of the people of Jannah until they are this close. That close to Jannah. Almost there. But then they begin to do the deeds of the people of the hellfire. What are the deeds of the people of hellfire? Murder, killing, lying, stealing, zina, adultery, fornication, drugs. These are the deeds of the people of hellfire until they begin to do that, and then and they enter into the hellfire. So you should say as a Muslim, Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good deeds. Allah bless me from 1975 until now. Allah bless me. I made more than 83,000 prayers. SubhanAllah, I counted. I said, wait a minute. 83,000? I said, Siraj, you made 80? Yeah. I said, yes. Performed like 6 pilgrimages to Mecca. Fasted for 46 years. Never missed one. Alhamdulillah. But see, what happened when you start doing that, you can start feeling like, yo, man, I got this. That's good. I'm good. Look at my record. But then you got to be careful, because you can do the deeds and erase all of that good that you did. I give an example. A few years ago in Atlanta, Georgia, there was a man came into a restaurant, held up the restaurant, and killed the owner Muslim, Ikhlas restaurant. And the one who did the murder, Muslim. That's scary. That's scary. You know what a muflis is? You know what a muflis is? A person who will come Yom Al-Qiyamah, they have prayer, they have zakat, they have all of that, but Shaitan had that. They cursed this person, they beat this person, they stole from this person, they murdered this, shed the blood of that person. Allah will take their good deeds from them, all that they did, and put it on the one that you oppressed. And throw you in the hellfire. And that person go to Jannah. And if all of your good deeds are over, there's nothing left, Allah will take the bad deeds of that person that you murdered and put them on you and throw you in the hellfire. Who do you think you are? That's right. You so arrogant now. I'm Muslim now. I'm a real Muslim. Really? Be careful. And then he said, verily, some of you you do the deeds of the people of the hellfire. Maybe we were doing deeds of the people of hellfire but didn't know it. The worst sin you can commit is shirk. I don't care how sincere you think you are. If you worship anyone other than Allah, you're committing shirk. That's right. Class. I don't care how sincere you are. But you have to make sure. Because though there are those who've been doing the deeds of the people of hellfire until they're that close to hell. And then they begin to do the deeds of the people of Jannah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah. I think, my opinion, one of the greatest Muslims of our modern time, Imam Muhammad. Let me tell you why. This is not emotional. This is facts. This is actual facts. We're in a nation of Islam. We learn actual facts. Ibrahim, alayhi salatu wasalam, no one can argue about Ibrahim. No one. Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. A man said to the Prophet, alayhi salat, said to Ibrahim, alayhi salat, Ya khairul bariya, oh best of creation. He said, that's Ibrahim. That's Ibrahim. This is what the Prophet said. Someone trying to call him the best of creation. He said, no, that's Ibrahim. Why he say that? He said, I am the da'wah to Abi Ibrahim. I am the answer of the supplication of my father, Ibrahim. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said that whoever prays in my masjid, his prayer in my masjid is better than 1,000 prayers in any other masjid. Ila al-masjid al-haram, except Masjid Haram. One prayer at Masjid Haram, 100,000 prayers. Better than 100,000 prayers in any other masjid. Whenever I go, I travel, ask the brothers, where I go, first thing I ask them question, what's the direction of the Qibla? Thanks for Imam Antar, I didn't have to ask him. When I went to the hotel room, he had the prayer rug right toward the Qibla. Ibrahim, are you going to argue with Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam? Oh, study the Quran. Allah told the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, follow the religion of Abraham. So, alhamdulillah, you know when you first learned about Ibrahim in Quran, what was he? A fatan. What do you mean fatan? A youth. And the interesting thing, he was a young man, but he defied his father because his father was a mushrik, practiced shirk, and he wouldn't go for it. That's why Ibrahim is called Ibrahim. He's the leader of mankind. In the ja'aluka linas imamin, make you a leader of the world. That's Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. When Imam Muhammad came, I think he's one of the greatest Muslims of our modern time. Let me tell you why. 2 years ago, I was in Orlando, and my good friend of mine named Richard. He said he went to Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is West Africa toward the north, different from Guinea. The language of Guinea is French. Guinea-Bissau, the language is Portuguese, because they were colonized by the Portuguese. He said his leader and him gave shahada to 7,000 people one time. I imagine 7,000 shahadas. How many shahadas did Imam Muhammad give? Just think about it for a moment. Whole nation. One of the most courageous people on the planet, in my opinion, Imam Muhammad. Oh, everybody, you know how we believe. Really. Even fanatical, you could say. But Imam Muhammad, with courage, strength, and wisdom, changed it around. Now, there's not one prayer that I can make except Imam Muhammad gets some of the credit. Not one fast that I make, except Imam Muhammad gets some of the credit. There's no question about it. I love him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him the highest part of Jannah. So, going to come to the second point. I'll make my conclusion. I don't see a clock, and you gotta help me, but I gotta see a clock so I know how much time I have. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You say, Imam Siraj, why you say you believe that the nation of Islam was blessed? When I go back as a member of the nation of Islam, the one thing that I bear witness to, that definitely we had the spirit of Islam. You can argue about the nuances, how you did it, but the spirit. Let me give you one idea of what I mean. You know, one of the responsibilities of Muslims is to give da'wah, to invite the people to Islam. Udru ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wa ma'idatan hasanah. Call to the way of the Lord, invite to the way of the Lord. Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wa salam said Mu'adh bin Jabal to Yemen, he said, فَيِكُونَ عَوْلَى مَا تَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَىٰ أَنْ وَحْدَ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. Let the first thing you do, invite the people to the oneness of Allah. Da'wah is one of the major things that we do. One day, my temple was in Brooklyn, temple number 7C. Lieutenant Richard Adex, my lieutenant. I love them. Love those captains and lieutenants. We argued sometimes, but they were strong. So I told Lieutenant Richard at that time, Lieutenant, can you get me a bus? He said, what? I said, can you get me a bus? I said, why? I want to go around and I want to invite our people to Islam. He said, okay. We got a bus and we started driving around. I said, go this way. We went to a park and I saw a group of people, African Americans. And I got off the bus and I said to them, Islam is the way of life. Get in the bus. Serious. About 17 of them got in the bus. Took them to the temple and talked to them. We didn't call it da'wah those days, we called it fishing. They used to tell us on Sundays, when you come by yourself, go out and get the day. I wasn't driving. I had customers. Every week I would invite them, come to the temple, come to the temple, come to the temple, come to the temple. And they started coming. I used to get a cab, pay for a cab to bring my customers to the temple. And some of them, they became Muslims in the Nation of Islam. Now I'm going to head toward my conclusion. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said that Allah said, Ya ibadi, O my slaves, I have prepared for you ma la aynun ra'at, what no eye have seen, wa ma udhunun sami'a, no ear has heard, nor has it even entered in the heart of a human being what Allah has prepared for them. Do you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He prepares things? Jannah is already prepared. Let me give you an example. Christians, Jews, and Muslims agree the identity of the first person on earth, Adam. They agree. In Torah, Adam. In Injil, Adam. In Quran, Adam. So we know the first person was Adam. We believe that. And before Adam was created, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already made his home for him. ألم ترى أن الله سخر لكم ما في الأرض ألم ترى أن الله سخر لكم ما في الأرض ألم ترى أن الله سخر لكم. Don't you see? Allah has prepared, Allah has made for you everything in the heavens and the earth. By the time Adam was created, everything was there. 196,940,000 square miles. Did I get it right? Food is there, the water is there, everything is there. Whatever Adam needs is there. Allah said He has honored the children of Adam. Everything, what do you need? It's there. It's there. It's in your homes. I'm traveling around the earth and I'm looking at all these homes that man has made. So Allah said in the Quran, Allah created you and what you make. How you not give credit to Allah? Anything that man has created, Allah gave him the ability to do it. So already the earth was prepared. Do you know right now, our home in the hereafter is already prepared? Let me give an example. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, in famous hadith, he said, he named 10 companions, and he said each one of them are in Jannah. They're gonna be in Jannah. Abu Bakr fil Jannah, Umar fil Jannah, Uthman fil Jannah, Ali fil Jannah, Abdul Rahman. So he named 10 Sahaba. So it ain't my opinion that Umar going to be in Jannah. That's not my opinion. The Prophet said it. Khalas. I ain't arguing with that. You want to argue with that? So I kept asking myself, Siraj, how would you act if you found out that you're going to be the people of Jannah? How would you feel? How did Umar feel when the Prophet said, you are the people of Jannah? What would you do? Would you say, MashaAllah, no matter what I do, I'm good, I'll be in Jannah. Correct. Umar's house in Jannah already built. How do you know? That's your opinion? No. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, I went to Jannah and I saw a palace. And I said, who did this belong to? They said, Umar. And he said, I started to go into the palace until I remembered the jealousy of Umar. I said, no. I ain't doing that. And so when the Prophet ﷺ told Umar, he said, Umar said, Ya Rasulullah, how dare I put my jealousy before you? And he started crying. So Umar knows you're going to Jannah. I don't know if I'm going to Jannah. You don't know if you're going to Jannah. Imam, you don't know. You don't know. We hope. Every one of us shaheed. You don't know. You hope. But we act like we're going to go to Jannah. We do things like, are you serious, man? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? And some of them have the nerve to be old. What do you call? Old timers. They call it Sheikh Zani. It's called the hadith. How you be Sheikh, 70, 80 years old, you committing zina? You in a walker. What the hell? Assalamu alaikum, sister. So I want to disclose with this. In one example, one or two. When Umar became Khalifa, every time a delegation from Yemen came, he asked them this question. Afikum Uwais ibn Amir? Is there a man among you named Uwais Ibn Amir. For 6 years, he's looking for this man named Uwais ibn Amir. Finally, a man said yes. He said, from such and such tribe? He said yes. He said, do you used to have epilepsy and it was cured except for the size of a dirham? He said yes. He said, do you have a mother whom you are devoted to? He said yes. He said, the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, this man will come from Yemen. And he described him. He said, if you meet him, ask him to ask Allah's forgiveness for you. What? He's promised Jannah. And he's still asking Allah's forgiveness. Who are you? Who am I? You see, you got to be careful because Allah can turn things around. He can put us right back there. Show our gratitude to Allah. Since 1975, Imam Muhammad introduced us to this faith. Grab it, hold it, teach it, share it, give da'wah. This is what we should never let it go. This is where we're supposed to be. And then maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would bless us. I love this community. The brothers in the Nation of Islam and the sisters, I still talk to them. I still invite them. I still talk to them. I still love them. Yeah, because somebody loved us. Somebody came to us when we didn't even know. Now you know. So I would like to see really, I'll be honest with you, there are a lot of Muslims who are Orthodox Muslims, been Muslim all their years. Ain't the same anymore. Some of them not the same. Allah bless all of us that this Ummatin Wahida, this one Ummah. And remember, it's not how you begin the race, how you end the race. La tamutuna illa wa antum muslimun, do not die except as a believer. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us and forgive us our sins and have mercy upon us. Lead us on Sirat al-Mustaqim. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملت الذين من قبلنا. ربنا لا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واغفر عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. والحمد لله رب العالمين. إقامة الصلاة.